my dear respected brothers, sisters, and beautiful children. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanallah, such a beautiful gathering, and this is the type of gathering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a special group of angels to look for this type of gathering. They only descend from the heaven looking for this type of gathering. A group of people getting together in the house of Allah for the remembrance of Allah and for reciting the Quran, learning the Quran, and engaging with the Quran. This is a type of gathering. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those type of gatherings, inshallah.
Ameen.
The angels look for them, and whenever they find this type of gathering, they get together and they call upon each other. They call each other, come on, we found what we're looking for. Come on guys, we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam continues to say that they will keep stacking on the top of each other until they fill up the horizon. So the layers of angels are from the ground up to the heaven. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how many millions of angels are there. They sit down and listen and take part in this activity, and then at the end of the gathering they make a list of the names of those people who are there in this gathering. And this list will be presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the list of honor. Those are the people who were in this such and such a place doing such and such a thing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask the angel, and He knows, He doesn't need to ask what they were looking for, what they were asking for, what was their wish. The angel would say, they're just looking for your forgiveness and they are asking for your Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, bear witness, I have granted them my forgiveness and I have granted them a place in my Jannah. Allahu Akbar. So many millions of people around the world waste this beautiful time, the night time, because many of the people think that the night time in Ramadan is to recover whatever we have missed during the daytime. In the daytime we are under restriction. I can't look at things, certain things, I can't say certain things, and I can't do certain things. You see somebody, for example, he's extremely angry, subhanallah, and you know in the daytime he said, oh, I'm fasting, just wait for me until Maghrib. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, subhanallah? It just look like, there is ma'asiyah, sin, categorized but the daytime sin. It is not the night time. It doesn't apply to the night time. That's not the case. Sin is always sin, mistake is always mistake. And subhanallah, regarding this particular thing, which most of the people have an issue with it, which is controlling your anger, your temper, your emotions. I am fasting, it's not an excuse to get angry. And subhanallah, you see the husband and wife at home during the daytime, they hardly talk to each other because any conversation will end up into a fight. So he said, just wait until the Maghrib and then we can open the conversation, subhanallah. And I looked at one of the situations in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Such an amazing. I kept thinking about it, and I might assume that I have extracted something that's not been talking about before. Maybe. When he went to Ta'if, looking for listening ears to his da'wah, he had enough from the people of the Mecca. They rejected him, they refused him, he struggled a lot with them. He said, let me just open another door and go to a different type of people and I talk to them about Allah and about the deen, they may accept. The Taif was kind of a city which is only for the wealthy people, for the rich people, business class people. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah, he has to give them an offer that will entice them, seduce them, a tempting offer, juicy offer. Guys, I am here, so what for? What do you want from us? We already have rivers, we already have fruits, we already have everything. So no matter what you offer us, we already have it. We don't need it, right? We don't need it. What are you looking for? Subhanallah. So anyway, he had some time with them, negotiation with them, and they end up, rejecting him, and they sent him out. They said, we don't need you, and they let him go. Rasulullah left Ta'if with his, servant Zayd ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu, Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu anhu, and they kind of encouraged the insane and the children. They gave every one of them a bag of stones or something like that and said, stone this man, throw the stones into him and drive him out of the city. Rasulullah ﷺ was running, according to the narrations, that he was running in front of them and they were chasing him for more than 3 kilometers. This is a riwayah, this is a, the narration. Could be, 100% correct, could have some kind of exaggeration. But anyway, this is what was there. Rasulullah ﷺ was bleeding from his feet until those children receive a signal, stop, don't chase him anymore, he's already out. And Rasulullah ﷺ was in a lot of pain and bleeding from everywhere, subhanallah. And his servant, Zayd radiallahu anhu, was trying to protect him, but he couldn't do much because a lot of people chasing one single person and they were hitting or targeting his head, his body, his feet, everything. They just wanted to kick him out. Now Rasulullah ﷺ ended up sitting or finding a shelter or a shade by a garden, a wall of a garden. And this garden is for grapefruits. So he sat underneath one of the trees, the shade of one of the trees, and the servant of this garden came to him when he saw him, and he felt sorry for him, and he grabbed some grapes and he presented to him, and you know the rest of the story. Rasulullah ﷺ made dua, very beautiful dua, very powerful and stunning dua. He said, Allahumma inni ashku ilayka da'fa quwwati wa qillata hilati wa hawani 'ala an-nas. Oh Allah, I complain from my weakness, the weakness of my power, my strength, and وَقِلَّةَ حِيلَتِي, and my lack of tricks. I mean, I can't do anything. My lack of smartness, I'm not smart enough. I have nothing to do. I am stuck. In other words, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. وَهَوَانِ عَلَى النَّاسِ, the people look down upon me. إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ بِكَ غَضَبٌ عَلَيَّ فَلَا أُبَالِي. If you are not angry with me, then I don't care. As long as you're not angry, this part of the story is very clear. And everyone knows this part of the story. Now, let's ask some questions. Try to get out some information from this, or some new things from this incident. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in terms of the physical power, was he a weak person? Can't he defend himself? The answer, he was able to defend himself. The Sahaba used to talk about his strength, his physical power, to be equal to the power of 40 men. And he actually demonstrated his physical power when he challenged the strongest wrestler in Mecca, in Arabia. Strongest wrestler. This wrestler, he used to stand on the skin of the cow. You know, when they get a sheet or a skin, the skin of a cow or a camel, the skin is very strong. And he would stand on the skin and ask a group of young people to try to pull out the skin from under his feet. You can imagine that they tear the rivet tear it, cut it pieces, but they can't even pull it from underneath his feet. This is how much this man was strong. He used to hunt the deer running after him. So he would run after the deer until he catches the deer. Can you imagine how fast it is? According to my estimation, the deer can run up to 60 km per hour. So that was his speed. Subhanallah. Rasulullah ﷺ challenged him and he said, if I defeat you, will you accept Islam? He said, okay, why not? And then, subhanallah, just in a moment, Rasulullah ﷺ put his shoulder on the ground. He said, there is something wrong. I was not ready. Let's do it again. And again, for the third time, Rasulullah ﷺ put his shoulders on the ground. So he admitted the defeat and he said, this man has a miraculous power. This is not a human power, something. So Rasulullah ﷺ had the physical power to do that. Wasn't he able to ask or to ask help from the sky straight away? Yes. Jibreel alayhi salam was always monitoring him. And who is Jibreel? Jibreel alayhi salam, the strongest of the angels, and he lifted up the city of Sodom, of Lut alayhi salam, with one feather of one of his 600 wings. And he lifted up the houses, the shops, the streets, the roads, everything. He lifted up to the sky, turned it upside down and let it go. This is the power of Jibreel. So he would just get that Jibreel alayhi salam, he could deal with those people straight away. He didn't have to wait for the angel of the mountains to come and let him know that I'm ready to crush them. This is the story goes like that. Guys, are you sleeping? You're almost about to sleep. Yeah, I promise, inshallah, before 10 o'clock we will finish, inshallah. Okay? Because he's still gonna migrate to Medina, inshallah, and we will carry on to the end of the seerah. No, just this incident. Now Rasulullah sallallahu when he said, I ashku ilayka qillata hilat, da'fa quwwati wa qillata hilati. He said, I complain from my weakness, the weakness of my strength. Is it the physical strength? No. Is it the strength of his iman? No. It is his weakness to control, according to his understanding, to control his emotion, not to leave the situation and go. He believed that he did something wrong. He shouldn't have left. He should be there and continue talking to the people no matter what. So he couldn't handle the anger of the people. He couldn't handle the reaction of the people. That is why he left. That was the strength that Rasulullah ﷺ was looking for, is to control your anger, to manage your emotion. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bring in front of him in his way a servant who came from Nainawa, a city of Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. And Prophet Yunus alayhi salam did the same thing that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was complaining for him. What did he do? Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, Allah sent him to a city. He called them to Islam, to Iman. They said no. He said, you people are hopeless case, and he left. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put him under some sort of discipline, and the whale or the fish swallowed him because he was so rushed to quit. He got angry very quickly. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him a lesson: you shouldn't be angry, you should be patient. You should be patient. That is why, my dear respected brothers, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam complained from his weakness in terms of handling the hustle and the inconvenience and the trouble from the people. If this is the case with the people, with the enemy, if we should endure a lot of trouble from them, if we should be very patient and very tolerant and control our anger, what could be the case with the children, with the wife? Subhanallah, you find a woman, a mother coming and complaining from her son. Shaykh, my son, he's not my son anymore. May Allah curse him, take him to the Jahannam. Why? I keep calling him to pray, keep telling him to do that, but then he lost. I make dua against him. Why? What's wrong with that? Sayyidina Nuh made dua against his people. Yes, that's true, but after 950 years, carry on. Keep giving da'wah and advising your son 950 years, and after that time, you are okay to make dua against him. But just after 5 months, 5 days, 5 weeks, or something like that, the people get impatient and start. The people, subhanAllah, the husband and wife, they say statements very, very, very strange. May Allah put you in the hellfire. Somebody making dua against his children, his wife making dua against her husband. The problem is they can't handle their emotion. They can't control their reactions. They don't have enough patience to handle the situation. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after all of that, he complained and he said, Ya Allah, I am complaining because of my weakness. My weakness is I couldn't handle it anymore. After all of that, subhanallah, you couldn't handle it? And who can handle it? You did everything possible to be done, and you still feel that you haven't done enough. You were not patient enough to handle the people and to accept their arrogance and their aggressiveness and their violence. Subhanallah. So brothers, the message of Ramadan is how to control your emotion and how to react Islamically, and how to react mildly. And you know what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised the Jannah to be opened in Ramadan. But who could be there to go to the Jannah? Who can make his way to the Jannah? You see, when there is say for example, there is a big shop that is opening day or the inauguration day. They said, guys, we have cooked some food or some stuff. It's free today because this is the opening day. It's free today. And the announcement was made. And there is some stuff there. You will see the people rushing and running. Who will get the first serve or the first best pieces of food? The quicker. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى جَنَّةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَمَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ. He opened the door wide and I said, now time guys to rush and run. Race! Hurry up! The first arrived, first served. Subhanallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already opened the doors of Jannah in Ramadan. And the call is already made, rush and run to enter to the Jannah. But who are those people who can make it to the Jannah? Who got the speed, the power to make it to the Jannah? It is now about your power, your speed. Because you may be there, but still you are behind. Because you can't run fast like other people who can run fast. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. This is for the people who have money. We may not have this money. But he says something to everyone. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. Those people who swallow the anger. Not just, kind of control themselves, but they control, but you see them like a boiling pot. You see somebody trying to control his anger. Hey, what's wrong with you, bro? I'm angry, trying to control my anger. No, even the impression on your face shouldn't be there. Because he said, well, then swallow it. Take it inside your stomach so you don't have any sign, any gesture of anger at all, no matter what. Subhanallah. You see? So this is the power that Rasulullah was looking for. And he did have this kind of power. He was ahla nas, the most kind, soft-hearted person. He never hit a woman or a servant or a slave. He never said to his servant, Subhanallah, I'm trying to understand how it is possible on the face of earth something like that can happen. How it is possible? Somebody serving Rasulullah 14 years, Anas ibn Malik. And he never said to me about something and I have done, why did you do it? And something I haven't done, why you didn't do it? But subhanallah, you see the husband at home like a police officer, interrogating his wife. Why did you open the door? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to close it. So why do you close the door? Okay, I will open it again. So why do you open it again? Subhanallah, why did you do that? Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Interrogation, 24 hours, even why? This is Rasulullah never said to a servant, a slave, somebody that used to be, this is a category of class of human being used to be treated like animals. And Rasulullah has that much respect to the servant, to the slave, that he never even commented on whatever he has done or whatever he hasn't done. Subhanallah. Can we bring this kind of character or this kind of mannerism in our life? It is possible, especially in Ramadan. This is if you get out of Ramadan with this attribute, with this quality, then you have done a lot. There is a change. There is a change. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to change. So for our whole situation to change, we have to start from within ourselves. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will never bring about any change into a situation of a people until they bring this change from within themselves first. As long as we still the same, we enter Ramadan, with the same condition we leave Ramadan. The only difference that we have after Ramadan, that we have put extra 5-10 kilograms of weight. That's it. Nothing more than that. Subhanallah. Let it be a different Ramadan, inshallah, this year. And if you focus on at least one quality, is to be a person who is able to control his emotion and his manner, his anger, and handle the trouble or handle the hustle or the frustration, especially from the people around you, then that's a great achievement, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the truth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treat us with His mercy and His forgiveness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emancipate all of us from the punishment of the hellfire and grant us al-firdaus al-a'la in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.